Chrissi from Total Fluency, just reporting in at the end of week 3 of the German in 25 weeks program. So here you can see that the main two things that we're reporting on is fluency units and study time. Now, Bruce spoke to you last week about fluency units, and it's the accumulated figure there that we're interested in, 265 units in the last 3 weeks. And my goal is 4,500 units, and I'm on schedule to meet that target. As you can see, 265 is a calculated total based on the 284 fluency units that I've learned and my 90% quiz score this week. Now, with study time, the interesting thing for us to look at is how my study time compares to that of a student attending a 25-week intensive language course, which would achieve the same B1 to B2 level in German. Now, a student attending one of those courses would be required to attend 25 hours per week in the classroom plus homework, whereas I'm limiting myself to about 5 hours per week, which gives me a target total time of 125 hours. And so far, in the 3 weeks I've been studying, I've already saved 69 hours over a student at one of those intensive courses. Now that I've got a few more fluency units under my belt, it's quite interesting that my experience of the language is beginning to change. So back in week 1, I said to you guys that I found that German was quite a foreign language, something that was very unfamiliar. And as I'm using my fluency units to notice the patterns in the German language, one of the things that's happening is it's easier for me now to recognize some of the words in German as they relate to English. One of the other things that's happening with the patterns is that when I speak in Germish to Bruce and to Achim, I have this really interesting experience. So one of the things, of course, is that I know more words and more phrases, so I can hear more of those words and phrases and the things that they say to me and to each other. But an additional effect I'm seeing is where I'm beginning to recognize the patterns in the German as they appear in English, I'm able to guess a lot of the words that they say without having learned them at all, which has this effect of enhancing the ability that I've already acquired and amplifying my skills. So my tip for you this week is to look for patterns. The great thing about patterns is that they're easy for us to see. The human brain is designed to recognize patterns as one of the fundamental principles it uses to transact our daily lives. But what I'm going to do today is talk to you about the 2 fundamental steps that I propose you use to recognize patterns in languages and how that will help you enhance your own language ability. So the first thing you need to do is look at recognizing the patterns in your own language. Now for me, of course, that's English. So I'm going to be looking for the patterns in my language. So for example, there's a relationship with the verb to run and runner and running. And if I look at the word quickly, I can see that it's related to quick and quicken and quicker. Step 2 is taking those patterns that I've recognized in my native language and applying them to the language that I'm learning. So I can now look for those relationships between quick and quickly in German and understand how that pattern works and apply that out to other words as I learn them. The other great thing with this particular trick is that if you speak more than one language already, you've got a massive resource at your disposal in order to look for patterns, not just the patterns in your native language, but patterns in the other languages that you've already learned. Thanks very much for listening again. Please go to our website and sign up to get free weekly emails and my tips for language learning each week. And I'll see you next week.